Hi guys, what's brewing everybody? Welcome back to Hip Hop Clarity where we spill the tea but keep it factual. Now, I've been busy, right? You probably been wondering where you been. I've been out handling some business, what have you, paying bills and whatnot, making sure things get taken care of. And while I was doing that, hip hop decided to lose its mind as always. So we've got BET making major moves. Jay-Z still has the internet in a chokehold. Dame Dash is firing back. Remy Ma has people reading between the lines, as always. Missy Elliott is back. A rising star has social media talking, and we're saying goodbye to a legend. And before we leave, we're even talking about a little bit of cash this afternoon. So I tell you what, grab your tea, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Let's start with BET because they've been making some interesting moves lately. And honestly, this one caught my attention because people have been criticizing BET for years, okay? Too much reality TV, not enough music, not enough culture, not enough connection to the audience that built the network. Well, BET may have heard some of those complaints. The network recently announced the formation of its first ever advisory board. The group includes names like Queen Latifah, LL Cool J. Bob Johnson is returning because remember he used to own it, right? He's returning. They also have names like Troy Vincent, Raymond J. McGuire, and George Cheeks. Now, whether this changes anything remains to be seen. But I will say this: if BET is serious about reconnecting with the culture, bringing the experienced voices into the room isn't a bad place to start. Because let's be honest, some of us still remember racing home to watch Rack City. Some of us remember recording 106 in Park. Some of us remember when BET felt like our actual network. I remember when BET had its own news. They had game shows. Did BET even have a cooking channel at one point? I don't know. Have a cooking segment? I don't know. But BET was everything that was black when it was black owned. I do have a concern because Bob Johnson, the first go around, he just didn't give a damn about BET no more, and he just let it just falter, right? And he sold it to be in a board with no type of power to keep BT going the right way. So I do have my concerns, but I'm glad that we do have the icons, Queen Latifah and LL Cool J there. They are very strong in their decision making, and I think that they can help turn a lot of things around. I think BET missed a lot of its mark, especially when it got rid of AJ and Free. I remember the revolt we almost had about that. Then they got rid of Big Tigger. It was a lot of missteps, whether purposely or not. I think Bob Johnson wasn't really caring at the point anymore. So I don't know what brought in this new energy. I'm hoping BET is just not going to be ran by black people, but also owned by black people once again, which means they're taking it from the clutches of who owns now BET, MTV, and VH1, that BET becomes its own island once again. That would be great. But, you know, we'll see. What I want to know from you is can BET ever return to the influence it had during the Rat City and 106 and Park era? I mean, let me know. Let me know below how you feel about it. Do you think it could go back to that nostalgia? And if so, I want to know why. And if not, I want to know why. Okay? Speaking of BET, you can't talk BET history without talking about one of the people who helped shape it, Big Tigger. Okay? So let's start with some of the good news first. As BET celebrates its history and prepares for the 2026 BET Awards, many fans have been reflecting on the impact of Big Tigger. For an entire generation, Rap City, Basement Freestyles, BET Specials, and BET Hip Hop Awards, Big Tigger helped preserve hip hop culture during one of its most important eras. Many fans have recently been giving him his flowers as BET leans heavily into the nostalgia and legacy programming. Now, at the same time, Big Tigger's wife has reportedly posted emotional videos and photographs online alleging DV and showing what she says are injuries connected to issues within the relationship. These are allegations at this stage and have generated significant discussion online. There's some important things we need to know right now. So far, allegations have been made publicly, and social media discussion is growing. Now, from what I have seen so far, at the time of this reporting, there has been no court findings that's been reported. The allegations have not been independently proven, and Big Tigger's response, if any, should also be considered as information developed. Another part of this discussion, Big Tigger's wife accused him of having a relationship with his co-host. His co-host came out and emphatically denied it. Said she does not understand how she was even brought into it. She worked too hard for her positioning. We do have her post here for that. Another important fact I want to mention, Big Tigger's wife did come out with a different video, and it seemed like, although I am going to show it here, it seemed like there's not any bruising, or I could be missing something. You check it out yourself, okay? Now, this becomes difficult because this conversation can have two things that happen at once, right? Two things can be true. Someone may have contributed greatly to hip hop culture, and also the serious allegations can still deserve examination, right? Now, this culture has had its conversations before with artists, executives, athletes, and entertainers. The question isn't whether someone should automatically be condemned. What we should be focusing on is how do we balance celebrating a person's contributions while taking allegations seriously and allowing the facts to come out. Okay. Now, with that said, I have a question for you guys. Can you separate the contributions from the controversy? Example, Russell Simmons, R. Kelly, Diddy, Kanye West. And I'm just going to throw Big Tigger in this for now. Okay. But where do you draw the line? I would really love to hear your thoughts about this. Drop your thoughts below. Keep it respectful. Facts is over feelings always. Allegations are not convictions, but allegations should not be ignored either. Okay? Okay, guys. A real quick update about this Big Tigger issue. He has responded, and we are going to play what Big Tigger said. As you know, or you may not have known, he was out for a day or so, and he has returned back to the morning drive or whatever his show is called. But he has responded in full stop. I will show it, and I will also have the verbiage and what he emphatically denies doing anything, any DV or what have you, which was alleged by his wife, who then turned around and seems to think that we were crazy to insinuate something that she threw on the internet. Anyway, I want to show you this, and then we'll move on.
I'm extremely privileged to be here this morning, back at work. Over the past several days, there's been significant public discussion and speculation regarding my personal life. I understand this can happen being a public person. I've been doing radio now 32 years and television for 29. I appreciate first and foremost the support and concern that so many people have shown. I want to say categorically, these allegations and accusations that have been circulating about me are false, untrue, not happening, didn't happen. Additionally, it's important to clarify that Francesca and I have never been anything more than friends and respected colleagues. I'd like to apologize to you, Francesca, for the impact of these last few days or this last week. I hope you accept my apology. Out of respect for everyone involved, I've asked for grace, privacy, and restraint as my family navigates this difficult moment. For more than 30 years, I've had the privilege of serving this in many communities through music, entertainment, and connection. I remain grateful for the trust so many of you have placed in me throughout that journey, and I intend to continue living and leading in that manner, worthy of that trust. And to all the people who have either quietly or loudly stood up and stood 10 toes for me, I appreciate it. For the people who have reached out to check on me, I appreciate you. No name dropping necessary. You know who you are. Good morning, Atlanta. I'm extremely privileged to be here this morning, back at work. Over the
Now, while people were debating Big Tigger online, another conversation absolutely dominated social media. And that conversation, you ask, of course, is Jay-Z. Because somehow one freestyle created enough content for an entire month. Fans are still dissecting every single line from Jay's group picnic performance. One of the biggest conversations involved Drake, okay? See, remember, Jay made some comments that many fans interpreted as questioning Drake's publishing and ownership situation, and immediately people started debating. Does Drake own everything people think he owns? Was what exactly does UMG really control? Or what rights are involved in his deals? Well, the truth is, some of y'all may not know, but I got this clip here, courtesy of Z, a guy that I follow. He's in the music business some type of way, and he actually has the information that shows that UMG, in fact, does own Drake's publishing. So, yes, perpetuity was correct. Okay? There was no trolling, that was factual criticism. Okay? Now, understand, people weren't just analyzing what Jay said, they also started analyzing how he was saying things, right? There was another part where some fans noticed what appeared to be a brief stumble or stutter during the freestyle. And we talked about this previously. Immediately, social media started comparing it to a viral Nicki Minaj stage moment. And now people are asking, was Jay intentionally mocking Nicki? I think it was. Because Jay ain't never forget nothing like that before. So everything he did was intentional. Okay? But some people are saying, oh, they're probably just leaning in too much and, you're connecting dots that don't exist. But I doubt that. Everything he does is very intentional. And he was talking about Nikki. Okay. So was the Nikki reference intentional or fans reading too much into it? To me, it was totally intentional. But let's talk about something else. Because if you thought that Drake and Nicki were the only people being discussed, of course not. Because he did discuss Tory Lanez. He brought that up in the conversation too. Many listeners believe that Jay-Z was responding to years of the conspiracy theories involving Roc Nation, Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and his daddy, Tory Lanez's daddy, Daystar. Let's just call him Daystar Lanez, okay? And some fans interpreted Jay's message as stop blaming everybody else, basically, which is true. Others felt he was taking a shot at someone currently incarcerated. That was his fault, though. I don't feel sorry for him. He did that to himself. Okay. And as expected, social media had their opinions. But my question is, was Jay addressing conspiracy theories or was he taking an unnecessary shot to you guys? Personally, I don't think it was an unnecessary shot. Tory Lanez, the people that hung with Tory Lanez's daddy, they all blame Roc Nation. I am tired of the narrative that y'all, not y'all, but some in the media is saying that Jay-Z is bullying people, or he shouldn't have never responded, or he shouldn't have done this. He has been talked about by these very people for years. Didn't say a word, nothing. And I do remember a video in which he was being interviewed. He said he's not going to be on the defense anymore. He's not doing it. He's coming back. He's coming at y'all. So it's what it is. Now, speaking of people Jay appeared to have words for, let's talk about the man who wasn't about to let Jay get the last word. Dame Dash. Dame reportedly publicly criticized Jay's performance. Okay. Of course, he was cracking on Jay. A lot of things he was just making fun of him, what have you. But what I found more interesting wasn't the criticism, it was the business move because Dame used that same attention to announce Dash Records. Now, if you follow Dame Dash over the years, you should know that you shouldn't be surprised by it, okay? You should know that that's a tactic. That's a tactic, right? Now, whether people agree with him or not, Dame always bring the conversations back to ownership, entrepreneurship, and independence. Now, the way you think about some of the things I can't agree with, but hey, everybody got their way, okay? My question is, who had the bigger impact on hip hop? Jay-Z the artist or Dame Dash the businessman? That's what I want to know. So you know we can't stand on this topic too long when it comes to Rockefeller, right? Because everybody has their sides and what have you. So let's just move past that. Let's talk about Ever Since You Left Me with French Montana, Max B, and they featured Remy Ma on the remix.
Yesterday on 34th Street and 8th Avenue with Remy Ma.
Yeah.
Is that the official remix coming?
Oh no, that's not the official remix,
Okay.
but that's the Knicks remix. We did a version and we needed somebody from the Bronx. And honestly, that type of records need a spitter because we had like a bunch of people that wanted to give us verses on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we needed like a real spitter and a real female that actually went through what the record talking about. And so we, I reached out to Remy.
Gotcha. I saw you guys yesterday.
Okay. So let's be clear. Since You Left Me has already been out since January. Okay. They already been out. Max B and French Montana had that song already out. And there's a whole video out on it and everything, right? And they decided we're going to do a remix and put Remy Ma on the remix. And of course, because Remy Ma's on the remix, we analyzed every bar. And she has one part in there that says, told him to find something stupid to play with, and he picked you. Now, I've seen everybody's reaction to this song and to Remy Ma's bars specifically. And I've seen where people say, well, she's really not, she's not saying that. But yes, she is. See, I don't think y'all understand why when Remy raps, people go up for her. Because Remy has that ability to hone in on how people be feeling in their inner self and be wanting to say some shit. Do you know how many times a woman have argued with her man and say, you better go find something else to play with. Don't play with me because I'm not stupid. Go find somebody stupid to play with. Do you know how that hits when you hear one of your favorite rappers say, tell him to go find something stupid to play with and he picked you? And the person that he actually picked is stupid. And he says, see how he listens to me? You see how stupid you are? You see what I'm saying? So it hits different, especially for the women who know exactly what she's talking about and exactly what she's going through, right? But I love it. I love this energy that Remy has come out with more. I love seeing Remy out here smiling now. I love that Remy is bullying us with her music, with her features and what have you. I love all of that, right? There's another part of the song that a lot of people are not talking about, right? Yes, they talk about that part, so that part about you stupid, he picked you. Um, And come pick up your clothes. That part is hilarious, right? But there's another part, and I want to play it right here.
A friend to all is a friend to none. So don't push me, bitch, cause I'll press the button. I went deaf.
Heard that part? He said, don't make me press the button. That part there. Y'all notice how Remy is looking in the camera like, yeah, don't make me press the button. That part I think is just as slick too. And you know what? I don't know why people isn't talking about freestyle because he was going too. He was rapping a little bit. He was rapping a little bit. Overall, I love the song. I love the energy of the song. The way they did that KC Sunshine Band interlude, that the way they did that was just awesome, man. That's the type of they brought whatever energy that New York needed. They brought that back, right? Now, of course, the Knicks lost on game 3, but that music didn't lose though. Okay. Now, with all that said, guess who had something to say in an indirect response? Guess. Go ahead. Guess. You not gonna say it? I said. You said it already, Pat. See this clip? Notice he had to go through the 5 fingers of death or whatever the hell that is. He put all the burrows in his on his hand. Now he's been having that tattoo since about I think it was 2006 or what have you or whatever. So he's been had that, and he has the Bronx as the middle finger. You see how hard he flicked that middle finger up? Yeah, we know, and he's covering it with, what was the best track to you? What was the best part of that song to you? We know what's going on, Pat. See, Papoose and Busta and I believe is Nims and Joy Badass. They did a New York Knicks song too, which ain't nothing wrong with. Everybody's doing a New York Knicks. You know how y'all know how New York give it up. When they went in there, everybody gonna have their own type of song for it. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's dope. Everybody's celebrating. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the energy right now, right? But what he couldn't stand is when Remy got on that since you left me remix. And this is another part too that I don't know if anybody else caught it, but throughout the song they say since you left me, right? But Remy made sure she says since I left you, I been going up. Things has been crazy. Okay, come get your clothes. Okay, come get them now. Singing in off key, telling you to come get your clothes. Right now, I also want to talk about this little tidbit too. Right, I've been seeing a couple of the other content creators kind of speculate if Remy got another dude or whatnot, and I think that's cute, right? Because we all trying to figure that out, right? Well, not really. We all trying to figure out, but certain things that she does because Remy talks without talking. She leaves breadcrumbs when she really wants you to know something. She talks without talking, right? But there's some people that says that they think she's talking about some mysterious baller. I personally don't think that, and the reason why I don't think she has a new person. I think she's still involved with Easy is because she still wears the trenches necklaces. She had the trenches necklaces on while she was rapping. You seen it when she was going in. She had her Remy necklace and the trenches necklace right there. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that her and Easy still together. That's to me. That's me. That's my opinion. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I think that this was a great song. I like the energy of this song that Remy is getting on. What other type of sound would you like to hear Remy on? You know what I'm saying? I never heard her on well, we have heard her on a kind of slow hip hop beat, but I can't picture her on too many other sounds. Probably because we're always hearing her in a certain type of beat. But what type of sound would you like to hear Remy on? Let me know in the comments. Legendary Missy Elliott joined forces with Kehlani on the single Back and Forth. The collaboration recently received a major push with the release of its official video directed by Director X and featuring a surprise cameo from Monica. The song appears on Kehlani's self-titled album and has been gaining attention among both R&B and hip hop audiences. Now, this is just my take, okay? Missy doesn't just jump on records just to jump on records. Y'all know, right? When Missy appears, it's usually because she likes the artist, or she sees long-term potential, or the song has something different that she wants to, that draws her, right? So the track also gives listeners a little of that late 90s, early 2000s vibe, right? That many fans have been asking for lately. Several outlets also noted that the song nods to the era and even references to Aaliyah's influence. So I have a question for you guys. Is Missy Elliott the greatest female hip hop artist of all time? Or is she considered one of the greatest female artists in a genre of R&B and hip hop? Okay? I'm not talking about the most popular. I'm not talking the biggest seller, okay? But let's talk about the complete package. She's a rapper, although I personally feel she's not the strongest in rapping. But you can't beat her songwriting. You can't beat her production. She's a visual innovator. And if you don't think so, go check out all of her videos, okay? And for other people as well. She is definitely a hit maker for herself and others. Because once people started naming female hip hop Mount Rushmore's, Missy's name shows up, but I don't think it shows up for the right reasons. When I think of hip hop, I'm thinking MCing, right? But Missy is an artist, an all around artist. So I never put her in the category of rapper. I put her in the category of an artist, a musical, damn near musical genius, I think, right? But what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all think she's the greatest female hip hop artist of all time, or she surpassed the hip hop part, but is credited for the shaping of hip hop? How about that? The shaping of modern hip hop at that time. You tell me. Another artist gaining attention right now is Fat and Wigway. I want this to be like a highlighted thing here for her. This woman, I found her on Instagram, right? Seen the video, very nice video, by the way. She has a song called Queen, and it's been making a lot of noise online. And what people love most, which admittedly I love most, especially, is the Coming to America reference. That part was the She's Your Queen. I can't sing that part. To be that part there, and it keeps, they have it, sampled. This record celebrates Black women, family, and healthy relationships. I love this song. It's great because in a world full of breakup songs and drama records, maybe that's why people are kind of connected with it. So check out Fat and Wigway. I believe she's Nigerian American. Very good. Girl can rap. Girl can rap. Very good. And we have this Detroit rapper named Nasaan, and he also has the social media buzzing about. And he got this visual called 360. Fans are debating the symbolism, the industry commentary, and even the deeper meaning behind the video. The video shows a black man, right, sitting in a chair with chains around him, and a white man over him, right? I like what the video is representing because he's basically saying that you're a slave to the music. It mirrors what the enslavement thing is for America and all over the world with black people. And he's bringing that to the forefront with these 360 deals as well. And, just like enslavement profited off of the black bodies of the American black man and woman, so does the music industry, and they really profit more in death. That's like a preserving thing for them. a lot of these younger artists, and we spoke about this before, they have insurances out on these younger artists. They have insurances out on them. They know that they're not going to make it. They tell them what they need to tell them. They see the talent, but they don't see the talent and invest in them enough to say, "Hey, let me get you out the streets and let me pull you into like this studio so you could just stay." No, they understand the trouble that's going on with them. They understand the desperation of the signature, and they still allow the foolishness around them because that's their crew. It's crazy when I hear some of these artists that are best friends for life, right? Like I remember hearing when Schoolboy Q was doing his thing, right? And he was being so much out in the streets that I had a whole conversation about it, like what they're going to do with him because you can't do both. You see where I'm going with that? And so, Kendrick and them took it upon themselves to, hey, come to the studio, hey, come pull up here. They was pulling him because they seen the talent. They was pulling him. But see, only people in the culture recognizes that and will try to pull you if they have any type of love for you. They're going to try to pull you in to get you out those streets. They see that talent. They see where it can go if you're not careful. Unfortunately, some of them you can't get to them fast enough, right? But when you have these music executives that doesn't mind, oh, you got great talent, but we also have this insurance policy out on you because we know that you're still wild and reckless. We see you doing stuff online because you're wild and reckless. That in itself, that's enslavement too. That's enslavement to Black Death, a different type of Black Death. So I'm I understand where Nasaan is coming from on it, and I appreciate the visual. And I think that art is coming back again. I think that real visualized storytelling art is coming back again with some of these new cats, and I'm enjoying it. We've had enough of unalive type of music in hip hop. That genre needs to go. That sub unalive genre really needs to go. We need to have these people, these young ones, rap about living. You know what I mean? Not, and that doesn't mean you have to be, gung ho every day and rap with a smile on your face. I mean, we had one of the best lyricists that has passed away in the last 5, 6 years now, DMX. He wasn't all happy. He wasn't cupcakes and cookie dough, but he was a storyteller. He told his life. He told what was going on. He told you about his struggles. He was authentic. And I think that the newer generation is trying to figure that out now, and I hope so. And I hope they find that with more independence as well. Can we circle back to BET real quick? Okay. First and foremost, BET Awards show is gonna have Remy Ma there, right? Also, Clarissa is supposed to be nominated for sports. The whole sports category. I don't know if she's gonna win or not, but her name is there. But BET is also announcing that Ms. Lauryn Hill will receive the inaugural Living Legend honor. And really, that's long overdue. That is long overdue. Now, look, I like you have jokes like, is she gonna be there on time? I got it. That's the first thing I thought about. You know, but there's some things we really need to talk about with the artistry of Lauryn Hill. She was ahead of her time. That woman was a triple quadruple threat, right? She was a rapper, singer, actor, like in its purest form. You know what I mean? Um, I know people only talk about her one album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was more R&B melodic than rapping, which was great to me. But I'm looking at these people like, but y'all forgot. Like, yes, she was with Wyclef and Pras. Yes, the Fugees. Yes, got it right. But y'all are not gonna sit up and tell me that Wyclef and Pras was on the same level as Lauryn Hill rapping. You're not gonna tell me that. We all waited for Lauryn Hill's part when she was rapping. She was Lauren. You couldn't mess with Lauren. You couldn't mess with Lauryn. Not too many women can rap with Lauryn. You know, that's why I love when I first see Rod Digger and they did that song. Oh my gosh, when they're all at the movie theater, I can't even think of it now. And I'm mad that I can't think of it. They dressed up in cowboys and everything, cowboy outfits and stuff. And Rod Digger, that's the first time I seen Rod Digger. I think the song was Outsiders or something like that. I forgot what it was called. But anyway, Rod Digger was rapping. I was like, oh my God, they found another one that can rap just like Lauryn Hill over here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I got excited. Let me tell you something. In that era of that time of women rapping with all of the different styles, and even up to let's say 2007, I'm including 2007 and 8 for a reason. Um, you had at that time that was real rapping, like rapping women. You had Lauryn Hill, right? You had Rod Digger. There was oh my goodness, back in the 80s it was like what was that 90s Trouble T and all of them. Trouble T was a lyricist, but we're going too far back. But you had Rod Digger, you had Remy. You had Remy that could rap. These are women that I'm saying that was like at the elite lyricism level, right? Eve was out there still. Ella, I mean, I'm sorry about to say Ella. Queen Latifah was out there still. Like Lil Kim. A lot of people sitting up here talking about how, well, Notorious B.I.G. wrote for Notorious B.I.G. showed her how to construct her bars. When he died, who else wrote for her? Y'all really be giving Kim the wrong. Kim is on the some of the most famous forever instrumentals that we will ever hear in our life. Y'all got to give Kim her credit. Y'all got to give it to her. Okay. Now we're moving up to some of the early to late 2000s. Now, unfortunately, as we all know, Remy had to sit down for a minute. But in that sitting down, there was another young lady that was bad as hell. That is one of my favorite lyricists of all time, even though she doesn't rap anymore. And that's damn Jean Grey. That damn Jean Grey can rap. She could, and again was ahead of her time, and she was rapping with the heavyweights. See, when I'm saying like rapping with the heavyweights, like when you see Lauryn, right? When Lauryn would rap, men was bobbing their head to Lauryn. When Remy rap, when Rod Digger rap, when Lil Kim rap, men was bobbing their head. Foxy Brown was bringing it. Don't front, right? Men was bobbing their head. They was like for real bobbing their head. When Jean Grey came outside, when I remember one of my favorite mixtapes is Jean Grey's mixtape, and it was produced by DJ Drum, and I think it's called Cookies of Coma. And the first song was Case Basket. When I first heard that, I said, "Who is this woman? Who is this woman?" And she may have been compared earlier to Eminem because they kind of had maybe a little bit of the same cadence a little bit, but nah, Jean Grey was lethal. She was so lethal. Then she had the Gotham City series and stuff, Gotham series that she had oh my God. She was rapping with Pharaoh Monk and Talib Kweli and oh my God, y'all okay. Anyway, I'm about to get excited. Anyway, so then we move there too for the elite lyricism. Of course, we got fast forward, we got Rhapsody, we have Moo Fresh. You know what I'm saying? So we have these elite lyricism type of women, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm loving that a lot of it. Oh, Doechii, I love Doechii, and I think what I love a lot about Doechii, and I was trying to put my finger on it, and it made sense when I seen her on the same stage as Lauryn Hill. I said, "That's what it is. That's exactly what it is." She's the second coming of Lauryn Hill. Not to say that Doechii has her own talent and she's been out for years, but I think Lauryn Hill also saw that in her as well. She can rap, she can sing, she can act. It's like that whatever that aura is that she can identify with Doechii, she found it. She found it. So congratulations to Lauryn Hill being the uh, receiving the inaugural, I can never say that word, inaugural Living Legend Honor Award. It is long overdue for her. Man, Lauryn Hill is something special. She late, but she is special. And unfortunately, this next story is about giving flowers to someone we've lost. The two-time Grammy winner, Peabo Bryson, passed away on June the 2nd after suffering a stroke days earlier. His family announced he died surrounded by loved ones. He was 75 years old. For many R&B fans, Peabo was the kind of romantic ballad for an entire generation of Disney fans. He was the voice of Disney love songs. His Disney legacy, Beauty and the Beast, 1991, Peabo Bryson's teamed up with Celine Dion to perform the title song Beauty and the Beast. The song became a worldwide hit and earned a Grammy Award. Many people considered it one of Disney's greatest theme songs ever recorded. Then in 1992, he joined Regina Bell for a song called A Whole New World from Disney's Aladdin. The song became the first song from an animated film to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it won multiple major awards. It remains one of Disney's most iconic songs. After that, he has a song called As Long as There's Christmas, which people recorded with Roberta Flack for Disney's Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, giving him yet another Disney classic. But let's go beyond Disney for a minute, okay? Some of you may remember people records like if ever you're in my arms again, can you stop the rain? Feel the fire. I'm so into you. Reaching for the sky. And tonight I celebrate my love. Tonight I celebrate my love. That song, okay, with Roberta Flack. I mean, it goes beyond so much music that people Bryson has done. Like I remember as a kid, I remember him only for the Disney, but like my mother's generation remember him for all of his records before Disney. This man, he really had an imprint on music, on soundtracks, and what have you. This is one of those losses that crosses generations. Your grandparents may know him from soul music. Your parents is going to know him from R&B radio. My generation, we knew him from Disney. And the younger listeners probably don't even realize that the voice singing those magical Disney duets was one of the greatest male voices in R&B that has ever been produced. So it's just that's just it. It's hard to take. It's hard to take, guys. But before I just want to make sure we understand this. This man was out before there was streaming, before viral moments, before social media challenges. There was a voice that made us believe in love and magic and happily ever afters. So, with that said, rest in peace, Mr. Peabo Bryson, the voice behind some of Disney's most unforgettable memories. Okay, so I just need to forewarn y'all on this. We have to be on the lookout for this. The rap gods are linking up. Again, the rap gods are linking up. Three respected lyricists from three different legendary hip hop camps are joining forces for a new project. Do y'all understand me? Guess who they are? The God MC himself, Rakim, Kurupt, and Master Killa. Okay? Again, Rakim, Kurupt, and Master Killa is joining forces. Now, the trio previously collaborated on Be Ill, right? And that was from Rakim's God's Network Rebirth album, right? Now, reports are circulating in hip hop media that there's going to be a larger a project with those three in the works, okay? And it looks like the discussion is pointing towards a possible August release date, okay? So, for you fans, such as myself, that loves lyric driven hip hop. This, this right here is for you, okay? And I don't know why this is flying under the radar, but be on the lookout for a possible August release window, okay? Just think about it. You got Rakim, the God MC, the West Coast legend himself, Kurupt, and then Master Killer from Wu-Tang Clan. Okay? To me, this is going to be like a TikTok viral moment here, okay? This look like this is going to be straight boom bap type of feel. You know, this is for the hip hop heads. This is for the bar lovers. This is for the people who still care about that lyricism, okay? The first collaboration, Be Ill, was well received by many longtime hip hop fans that showed the chemistry between all three artists. So I have a question for you. Which legendary rapper do you trust the most to deliver a great verse in 2026? Do you think it's Rakim? Do you think it's Kurupt or Master Killer or someone else? Put it in the comments. I can't wait to read them. Know it's dope when you hear that some of your favorite celebrities or just some celebrities actually went ahead and furthered their education while being, in the spotlight, whether it's music or, acting or whatever, right? They finished their education in type of way. So Chris Brown recently shared that he earned a Master of Fine Arts degree in entrepreneurship from Harvard Christian University. So congratulations are certainly in order for that, okay? Now, of course, the story also sparked some questions online about the accreditation and how honorary degrees differ from earned degrees. Now, as some people who worked in education, I know some people that said they always encourage people to research the credentials of these universities and what happened, and understand what exactly do they represent. I mean, if this is true, I say kudos to Chris Brown. I say kudos to him. I mean, he posted it. He said that the diploma that was shown was from April 30th, 2022. Of course, multiple outlets has picked up the story after his Instagram post. Now, here's where it gets a little entertaining. Okay, one. Chris Brown was also awarded an honorary doctorate of philosophy in visual and performing arts from this Harvard Christian University. Okay, now those two are completely separate things. You have MFA, which is the academic degree, and then you have an honorary PhD, which is basically an honorary recognition. So many social media posts have blended the two stories together when it seems like it's separate. He's saying, look, I got a master's in fine arts, but I also have an honorary doctorate of philosophy. And so people's kind of looking sideways because I don't think they're separating the two. But let's talk a little bit more about this, okay? So I went looking for the accreditation information, and I personally couldn't find clear information from recognized accreditation databases in the reporting that I reviewed. Again, I couldn't find it. That doesn't mean it's not accurate. I just couldn't find it, okay? Now, the school website promotes honorary degrees and recognition programs, including Chris Brown's honorary doctorate. However, I could not verify from the sources I reviewed whether the Harvard Christian University holds accreditation from a recognized institution accreditor acknowledged by the U.S. Department of Education, or CHEA, right? The reporting around Chris Brown's degree largely represents the school's claims without discussing the accreditation status. So that's that. Now that I'm trying to say here, that does not automatically mean it's illegitimate. I do not want to tell you that. I'm not saying that at all. But what it does mean, I want more answers before treating it the same as a master's degree from, let's say, Howard University, Harvard, or the USC or Ohio State, something like that. So, what I want to kind of bring to the table is this. Does accreditation really matter? Because there are really two conversations going on here. See, Team One says Chris Brown already has money, success, businesses, and influence. He didn't really need the degree. The fact that he pursued education at all is commendable, right? But then you have Team Two, and Team Two is saying before we celebrate the degree, let's understand whether the institution is accredited and what the degree actually represents. So I feel that both are fair questions, okay? Both are fair questions. But what do you think? You let me know. Talk to me in the comments. Okay, so remember when I told you guys that I wanted to do more than just one type of reporting for you guys, covering drama and I'm not a gossip person, I'm more of a clarity person. But what I wanted to introduce in my weekly spiel was money. Because I think that hip hop culture and money goes together, right? Like hip hop and sports, ain't that right, Pat? But not just money, okay? I'm talking, let's talk about the stocks now. Let's be clear. Do not panic, okay? Hip hop clarity is not going to turn into CNBC, okay? But if we're going to talk about ownership, okay, if we're going to talk about independence, and if we're going to talk about building wealth, all of which is part of the real hip hop, then every now and then we need to talk money too, right? And this week, I've just been paying attention to three completely different lanes, right? Healthcare, real estate, and technology. So hey, I am not a money channel. You better do your own damn research. Don't come in my face about nothing, okay? But since we're talking about some stocks, let's just talk about this, okay? We're going to start with United Health Group, okay? Now, United Health Group's ticker symbol is UNH. Just a little brief history, real quick. They were founded in 1977, one of the largest healthcare and insurance companies in America. Now, they are a member of the S&P 500, and they do pay dividends. Their current share right now is around $400 as of reporting. Healthcare is one of those industries that isn't going away anytime soon, so you want to check them out. All right. The next one is called Reality. I'm sorry, not Reality, excuse me. Realty Income Corporation. Okay. Now, their ticker symbol is the letter O. Okay. Realty Income Corporation, ticker symbol O. They were founded in 1969. They are a real estate investment trust or REIT, REIT, a REIT. You probably heard that term. That's what it is, real estate investment trust. Okay, and they also are a member of the S&P 500. And guess what? They pay monthly dividends as well. Currently, their price share is around $60. Okay. Many investors know it as the monthly dividend company. So you might want to check that out. Okay. Again, do your own research. I didn't tell you to buy shit. Okay. Do your own research. Now, the final one is NVIDIA. This is NVIDIA. Their ticker symbol is NVDA. They were founded in 1993. And this is a technology and artificial intelligence type of company, okay? Once again, a member of the S&P 500, and they do pay dividends. Now, their current share price is around $200 per share. One of the companies for them, they are like they okay, just to break it down simply, they're one of the companies that's helping power the AI revolution. Okay, so check into them, check into them. Now you may be wondering, why did I choose these three? Well, UNH represents healthcare, okay? O represents the real estate and passive income type of thing, and NVDA represents technology and artificial intelligence. Now, these are three completely different sectors, of course, three different ways companies make money. And remember, many brokerages offer fractional shares too. So I chose them because it was totally different. They always talk about make sure you have a mixture in your portfolio, so why not, right? I feel that you don't always need enough money to buy a full share. So again, you want to check out some of these brokerages that offers fractional shares. Now I have a question for y'all too. If you could invest in only one sector right now, would it be healthcare, real estate, or technology? Which one do you choose? Now, before we get out of here, let's get back to the music because I know some of y'all were sitting there like, that's nice clarity, but who's actually dominating the charts? Okay, first and foremost, Drake took the top four spots, okay, all the way through, and that's even with his features. Top four spots. So rounding up at number five was Rick Ross, French Montana, and Max B with Minx in Miami. Followed by Boss Mandilo with Motion Party, Body by Don Tolliver, then Kehlani, Folded, funny how that was referenced with the Remy Ma joint. Pop That Thing by the Baby, and rounding off the 10th spot is T.I. with Let 'Em Know. R&B Watch, we have Victoria Monet that continues building anticipation for her upcoming album and tour. Bruno Mars remains dominant on the R&B charts with I Just Might, and Lizzo released her new album, Bitch, generating significant discussions across music media. Also, so important. Michael Jackson makes history yet again. So, Michael Jackson became the first artist ever to chart a new Billboard Hot 100 hit across six different decades after Chicago resurfaced through streaming and TikTok. And now it's time for one of my favorite segments of the program is back down memory lane. And some of the albums turning heads this week in history we're going to walk through. So let's go through a quick story. Okay. Imagine you're at a local skating rink or a block party in ATL around, let's say, 1993. The speakers are melting from the ultra fast music, the rattle of the Miami bass, and the local booty shake music. Tracks like Tag Team, Whoop, there it is, are driving the crowds wild. But to the rest of the US, Atlanta hip hop was loud, fast party music, musically light, not really too much substance, but strictly club music, and that's cool, right? Then, out of nowhere, were these two teenagers from Headland and Delowe. Their names, Big Boy and Andre 3000, working out of a damp dirt floor basement known as the dungeon. They reject the fast tempo. They dropped this live instrument driven funk song around Christmas. It was called Players Ball that was later added to the Southern Playalistic Cadillac Funky Music album, their debut album. It's around 1994 when the album goes platinum, right? But the national respect does not follow at first. Now, fast forward, it's August 1995. The second annual Source Awards held at Madison Square Garden. There was a whole lot of people there. There was already a big powder keg of rivalry between the East and the West Coast, okay? Then the iconic group Salt and Pepper reads from the envelope for the best new rap group. Outkast wins, and New York had the audacity to boo because to them, Southern hip hop was a joke, but they wasn't feeling it. And Andre 3000, at the time 20 years old, came to that microphone and delivered a brief prophetic warning that altered the timeline of music history forever.
If the South got something to say, that's all I got to say.
When he said, the South got something to say. And indeed they did. And they started running hip hop ever since. Now let's jump ahead to June 2000, where St. Louis taught us a new way of speaking with country grammar, dominating the radio and introducing the country rap sound to mainstream America with Nelly leading the charge. And lastly, picture this. It's June 5th, 2001. And something major is rolling out. Something as we know now called the blueprint. The blueprint rollout season was heating up, and the streets were preparing for one of the most important rap albums ever released later that year. And now, after all this time, Jay-Z is going on a mini anniversary tour this summer for the blueprint. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your back down memory lane. Now, what songs instantly take you back to the summer of 96, 2000, 2001? Because remember, some of the songs we were vibing to around that time was Loungin', Elevators, Me and You, One More Chance, Get Me Home, and of course, Country Grammar. I can't wait till you tell me what songs you were listening to around that time. You know, this week feels like a bridge between hip hop's future and its past, with BT bringing legends back to help shape the future. Big Tigger is getting his flowers. Lauryn Hill is receiving a living legend honor. Even Drake dominating conversations once again. And Michael Jackson is still making history. And somehow, hip hop keeps reminding us that yesterday and tomorrow are always in the same room. One minute we're talking Jay-Z, the next minute we're talking Disney legends, then we're talking investing, then we're talking classic hip hop because culture isn't just music, culture is everything connected to it. If you enjoyed today's spill, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and join the Hip Hop Clarity family. And remember, keep your tea hot and your facts hotter. This has been your Hip Hop Clarity Weekly Spill. Now tell me, what did I miss according to you? Right, that's all I got for you guys. Bye.
For hip hop, this is hip hop of the day. I give props to hip hop, so hip hop, hooray! Oh!
Ring a ding ding.